The message of Hebrews. We started a new study last week and it's on the book of Hebrews, if you didn't know. This week we look at what are the themes and the main message of the book. Paul is writing to his Hebrew family and it's different from when he is addressing Gentiles, for example, because Israel has been preparing to receive the gospel since its inception. They had ceremonies and lots of imageries to help them understand what is going on and how they can be saved from the misery of evil and sin. So, Paul is tapping and expanding on that, and to his suffering Hebrew brothers, he presents Jesus as king, mediator, our champion, and a high priest.
The message of Hebrews is the message of the gospel, the message of good news. And the good news is that God rules the earth again through his son, Jesus Christ. It was Jesus in first place. Then Lucifer took rulership over this world. Now, Christ, through his victory over death, is inaugurated back as worthy king to those who choose to follow him. They have his protection, and he has their loyalty and faithful representation. In that way, the problem of failure in the Garden of Eden has been solved and the promise has been fulfilled, a promise of an offspring that will crush your head, meaning the serpent's head. Also a promise of a Davidic son who will take over Israel, who will conquer death, who will be risen, and who will be seated at the Father's right hand. Paul laid it down as it is to his Hebrew brothers and sisters. Christ is king now.
The first two chapters of the book focus specifically at Jesus as king. He fulfilled his promise to David and was executed actually under the charge for pretending to be the king of the Jews, a right that he earned. The authority to rule is a big deal and makes a huge difference.
It is not only us today who struggle with sin, who struggle with our own conscience being in constant battle. Because undeniably we feel our separation from God. We feel our separation from good, from what is just, and from what is righteousness. They don't come easy naturally to us. The ancient Israel was living it too. They had a system of sacrifices and rituals that were leading them through a process of cleansing so they could have this peace in their soul. But something was missing. Something was not perfect. The truth was that it was all just an image, a foreshadow of the real cleansing, of the real salvation, of the real transformation. The priest was a human, hence he was sinful. He could not have been the perfect mediator between God and his people. It should have been somebody who can represent both sides, divine and human. Somebody who can speak both languages, heavenly and earthly, and in this way successfully maintain the relationship between God and man. What was broken and what needed stitching and gluing back. Paul pointed at Jesus Christ as the one and only mediator and high priest that is worthy and anointed.
This world can be dark and cold, but Jesus earned the right to mediate for us and to stand up for us in front of God in our favor, covering our weaknesses and sinfulness with his righteousness, restoring our dignity, and protecting us from Satan and his accusations. We can just erase history and responsibility, however, and this whole process is illustrated with the role and functions of the high priest.
One of the last messages that Paul has in his book, the Hebrews, in chapter 8 to chapter 10, brings to light the understanding of the so much treasured by Israel covenant with God. They were the chosen, the commissioned, and the inherently blessed because of their forefathers. However, they failed numerously. They were not able to take advantage of the available blessings and also failed to become a channel of blessings for all around them. God designed a better covenant through Christ that is able to really transform, to really change the hearts and spread the light that God has for this world. The Old Covenant played the role of pointing forward to the work of Messiah, of Christ, pointing forward. Where the Davidic covenant presenting the Son of David, who can really provide us with an access to God, who can really offer a worthy sacrifice for our forgiveness and can really purify our conscience so that we can approach God with boldness, as Paul says. The message in the book of Hebrew is bold and is life-changing. It is simply the good news.
Sometimes we can get stuck with the symbols and shadows and miss the real things. Israel did it as a nation, but as individuals, we all have the opportunity to explore, accept, and appreciate the greatness of what is being done for us. Next week, we will continue this study with the lesson Jesus, the Promised Son.